is Willie Minnix. I'm the author of the Mandolin Dead Man's Tuning series of books, which I hope you get a chance to check out sometime. You can check them out at my website or, just about anywhere that you can find books online. I'm sure you can get my books. Anyway, we have been talking about how to play slide for the mandolin, and it's a very unusual thing. Most mandolin players don't play slide because the mandolin in standard tuning doesn't really adapt well to slide, but today we're in ADAD tuning, A, D, A, D, and if you haven't seen my previous two videos, we discuss in those videos how to play licks, basic licks in an L pattern, how to go from the 3 to the 5 to make up licks, and then also how to move that pattern from the 3 to the 5 up to the G chord so you can extend your soloing that way. We're going to talk about that again today. When you get to the A chord, usually in a 12-bar blues in D, you don't have a lot of time necessarily to be on it. So I would recommend using the same L formation for your basic licks in A. If you really want to stretch it though, you can follow that same rule that we talked about last week where the A becomes the nut, and so then the next fret is 1, 2, 3, so you're at the dot that's at the 10th fret, and then the 12th fret becomes the 5th fret in essence. So and that allows you to end your lead sequence up here at the 12th fret when the music goes back to the D chord or the 1 of the progression. You can be right up there at that 12th fret, so you can move in any lead pattern, and it's up to you to kind of make it up how you want it. But you can start down here up here, and you can end your solo when you get up there to that really high high D up there on the 12th fret. Now I'll give you some advice. When you play slide on the mandolin, different slides have different sound effects, and I do not have my glass slide with me today, but the one that I'm using is a brass slide, and it has sort of a really tinny sound, and this sounds, I think, really good on my resonator guitar, and it sounds okay. But what I've found for mandolins that I really like are ceramic slides. Now I tend to prefer the mud slides, but today I've got the Joe Perry ceramic slide because my mud slide broke at a gig a while back. Happen to have a mandolin that you can plug in, an acoustic electric mandolin, a couple tips about that. What I find really sounds good with a mandolin, especially if you're going to play slide, is if you can back the highs off just a little bit. Like let's say normally your highs might be at 12 o'clock position. Well, you want to move them back just slightly to where you're in maybe like 10 o'clock or almost, in between 9 and 10. That gives you less of a harsh sound. You may even find that you need to roll off some of the upper mids, but I find boosting the lower mids and the a little bit of the low, just a tiny little bit, helps bring some richness and depth to your mandolin. And when you play with a glass slide or with a ceramic slide, it's a more glistening sound, I think, than what a guitar would have. It almost is like if you've ever heard those glass organs where they're really old. You don't see them much nowadays, but sometimes in movies they have like these bowls that ride in a little pool of water, and you run your hand along it and you use a pedal to keep them rotating, and you can play with them, and they have that really eerie kind of this sort of a sound. Well, you can achieve that effect if you put a little bit of chorus and use a slide, and it's a really great way to make background noise. Like I've done the soundtrack for a couple documentaries, and one of the documentaries that I did was called Emmanuel, and I think it's on I think it was Emmanuel and something about art, or Behold the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world, but it was about art. And there was a really tough scene. Mark Greenbloom is the author. You can look him up on YouTube, I'm sure. He's out there somewhere. But anyway, in the video, I did the music for the segment, and it was a very dramatic scene. And I used slide mandolin for one of the eerier types of scenes that he required. And layering it over top of drums and bass guitar, it really had an almost unsettling effect, which is what we were going for. So you can try it out, you can mess with it all you want and see how you feel about it. But I hope that it works out for you. God bless you. You have a great day, and we'll catch you in the next video.